Picture this, it's 9 p.m. You've just finished eating dinner, the kids are tucked away, and they're slowly falling asleep. Now you have to amp up as a teacher because you've got all these things to do. You got 50 assignments you got to mark for tomorrow because the kids are wanting their grades as soon as possible. I know exactly how this feels as a teacher, and it can feel so overwhelming. This prompt will tell you how to use AI to mark any assessment reliably. Hi, hello there. I'm Steve, the AI Teacher Guy. Welcome to my channel where we teach teachers how to save time and build better resources by leveraging AI. Now, if you are enjoying these videos, please do give us a like and subscribe down below, as it does help out with that YouTube algorithm and getting the message out there that AI is for all educators. This prompt comes from my book, Teacher Prompt Secrets, and it's prompt number 18. It's going to teach you exactly how to use the prompt and go through step by step with all the pieces of the puzzle you need to put into the prompt so that it works. There's 3 things that you need to put in. There's the original task, the marking rubric, and then a rough overview of what are you looking for when you're marking the paper or the question. So let's jump on in. So I found this paper before, which was really cool, and it basically went through whether or not large language models can make the grade. So it's an empirical study of looking at how LLMs are able to mark questions, which was really cool and interesting for me. So I'll give you the summary of it. It basically used ChatGPT 4, and it found that it was really close to human level performance. So it was just off. It wasn't quite there, but it was really close. But the interesting thing was it was using very basic shot prompting. So it wasn't as detailed as the prompts we're about to go through now. So let's jump on in. So the first thing we need to do, we need to upload our profile. So I've created a new profile here, which is a commerce business teacher. Put in a few things. So they've got an MBA from Harvard, and they understand how complex scenarios, and they want to make students get better at what they do. So let's copy and paste that in. And this is what I do for every one of my prompts. This is basically like loading a Nintendo 64 with the Mario 64 cartridge. And by putting that cartridge in, it knows that it's going to be playing Mario. So by doing that first, it puts on the persona and gives you significantly better results with prompts that we're about to put in. The next step, we're going to look at the question. So this was a question from the 2023 business studies paper. It was worth 20 marks and should take about 35 minutes to complete. And this was the question here. So it gave some pretty good context about future century gaming, about online gaming platform targeting this age group, and then it had the demographics, and you had to come through with these parts here. So you had to outline some of the challenges, such as global factors, cost, skills, and supply, compare the use of debt and equity as sources of finance, and recommend one source of finance this business could use. Cool. Then, the reason why I love New South Wales is we have a really clear marking guide. So there's the rubric, and then here's some of the answers that could have helped influence the way that the response would come. Cool. So the first step, and I've found 2 papers. So I've got John Kemp's response here with a few little grammatical errors and spelling errors. And then I have Jane Kelly's error here, which is she's got a lot more detail in what she's done. So first step, I will open up the prompt, and I'm going to put the task sheet in first. So we copy and paste this section in here, and I paste that in. Cool. And the next bit is the marking rubric. So we can come down here, copy and paste the marking rubric in. Cool. And then the model solution. So these are the things that should be included. And then we're going to start with John Kemp's response. So we're going to copy and paste that in. And we're good to go. So now I've got that in, I copy and paste that in, and off we go. So it's going to take all of that information and then go through a series of analysis to make it work. So it's got the assessment task, the marking criteria, model solution, and it's going to try and assess the value and judge this with the different marking criteria. Offer at least 4 specific suggestions to improve, do a spelling and grammar check, and then give a final grade. And this is the important bit, using fuzzy logic. Now, fuzzy logic allows you to look at things that aren't exactly certain and try and make the best interpretation of it. So by putting that little word in there, it significantly improves the output that comes from this. So the first step is it's gone through the knowledge and understanding. It's given a 12 to John. So he has some level of understanding there. His application of the business situation was a bit higher. So he gave him a 13. It's not perfect. He's got some business terminology and it's explaining why, how there's a few spelling errors and misuse of terms. So drop that down. And the logic and cohesion of the response was only a 10 out of 20. So it wasn't perfect. Now these criteria were generated automatically from that rubric. I didn't pre-program that. It literally went through and tried to break it down into things that it thought was relevant. Then it went through deep analysis. And then it looked at 4 different ways. So here's the 4 different ways that John could have improved here. Then gave the spelling and grammar errors. So picked up all the issues so that there was something there. And then gave the final grade of a 12 out of 20. Which is pretty cool. So that was pretty quick once you've uploaded all those bits of information. So to show you another one. So we're going to do the same with James. So I'm just going to change that around. And we're going to reload our prompt. So we're going to upload the profile again, load the cartridge. And this time we're going to put Jane's response in. So we're going to go copy, get rid of it here. Perfect. And now let's see what Jane's response, who had a bit more of a detailed approach. Cool. So let's go and see what this pulls off. Step by step. Overall improvements, spelling, grammar analysis, and then a final grade. And then execution, so the feedback for knowledge understanding for James, she got 18, so significantly better. Apply the hypothetical business situation. That was pretty good. The communication was done well. And then the logical and cohesion of the response was a 19 as well, which is pretty cool. And then there's an 18. And then there's a bit of a summary of the understanding as well. So you can see that it gives a pretty reasonable grade for that paper, which if you read through it a little bit more detail, it does have a lot more to it than John's. So you can see that there's a reason why that grade would have gone up. Now, just to show that this is pretty reliable, I'm going to go through and do that again with Jane's. So just to see what if the grade is around the same ballpark, or is it going to go all over the show and give it like a 1, for example. So let's pop that in. And let's see what happens. So you'll see that it's not going to be exactly perfect every single time, but there's enough structure in this super prompt to try and structure the response and the way that it needs to think, so that it gives something similar-ish in its response. So you can see the hypothetical has actually dropped down a little bit, and it's dropped down a little bit of mark in there. But this is what's cool about the response, is it's still giving some really good suggestions, which is similar to the ones that we saw before. Said it was high, and then there was the final grade. So yeah, which is pretty cool. So it would be assigned within the high grade again, which is pretty cool. So that's it pretty much for me with this. Hopefully that's given you some insights of how to use this prompt. Again, the grade that it spits out is never going to be 100% correct because it is using fuzzy logic, but by definition with fuzzy logic, it's able to get to the right sort of space of where it needs to go. Thanks again. If you are enjoying these videos, again, please do give us a cheeky like and subscribe down below, as it does help out with that YouTube algorithm and getting the message out there that AI is for all educators. I also have a Facebook group where people are putting in questions now, and I'm trying to get to them and answering solutions that I can use in AI to help them in their daily routine. And then also on the last Friday of each month at 6 p.m, I'll be running a live session where people can jump online, ask their questions, and get some responses real quick. So that's it from me. Thanks again. See you next time on the AI Teacher Guy. Adios.